By now, you should already know that Bonsai is not just an IFC viewer, but an IFC native authoring tool, meaning that it just speaks IFC. And you can see things, but you can also modify and model from scratch in Bonsai. Cool. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can modify some stuff. And some of these things are recommended or not, depends on you. You might have some use cases when you have no choice and you want to do that. And some of the most normal things, the most usual things that I see are about fixing or adding types, changing the class because the entities are wrongly classified, like we are going to see here, and the most important, the most used one, adding property sets and removing property sets if that's necessary. So yeah, let's cover all these things without the type, because that's creation, that's modeling. I will not cover that one. Okay, so let's start again from, like, we have the same model. We know we had some properties, some proxies, right? So I'm going to proxies, I'm going to use these proxies and see what's happening. Why they are proxies? Because the better you have classified objects in your model, the better it is. The easier it's going to be to quantify and do absolutely everything you need. So let's assume these are even more important ones, right? So how do we check that? Well, you see that we have terrain and we have which I think is the overflat, the surface, terrain surface. So in this case, and the trees, and also we have a road, right? Or I'm not sure if this is the road. I think this is the road. Yeah, something like that, out region. I'm not sure. Yeah, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not so important. But let's say that we have a tree. Like, for example, we take this one and we look here. We see that this is something that you really don't want to have in your model. When I click on this terrain surface and I see IFC building element proxy not defined, I click on the tree, not defined. So there is no difference between them, which is not kind of true, right? Because this is a tree and this is a surface, terrain surface. So not good. What do we do with that? Well, let's select this one right here, and that's how you can fix it. You can you have this button right here, edit, reassign IFC class. That's what we are going to do. And if you don't know what class to reassign, go to this page. If you go to Bonsai, I have this from the previous session. So if you go to BonsaiBIM, bonsaibim.org, you have something here at the top, search IFC class. Search here for tree. And I already read through this, and I see that the proper way for me is to use actually geographic element. And here, let's say if is more proper than the other one. And we go to the schema and so on. Yeah, so I'm going to use this one. But when you don't know, that's what you do. You search there, you read, and see what it makes sense. But I see in this case, like, in this case, we have a model in IFC 4. If we use IFC 2x3, we might not have that even. So then we might need to use building element proxy and user defined, right? Maybe that it would be cool to show you that as well. I'm not sure. In IFC 4x3, maybe we have even more things. Cool. Let's say we know already. So you can do this and scroll, but I prefer to click on search and press here and just start typing geographical. And we see that we already get geographic element, which we could just click on this, but we see also predefined types, which are showing up: trees, plants, shrubs, terrain, not defined, user defined. You remember the user defined, right? But in this case, we can click, if I click on trees, I will automatically get a predefined type as well, not only the class. So let me show you one by one. If I click here, it will select randomly here. And then, sorry, it will select the automatically. I can't scroll here, so I'm not sure exactly why. So it's better to try that. It seems that this works better. I don't know why it's not possible. It might be a bug, I'm not sure. But yeah, let's choose trees, okay? Because that's exactly what we want. It's not defined. Maybe that's coming from the IFC 4x3 schema, because that might be, I'm not sure. I have to check this. It might be a bug. but we should be able to get that. Okay, so it looks like we have available only terrain and user-defined. Let's use user-defined, it's not a problem. And in this case, let's call it trees. Or what was it? Trees? Let's check one more time here. Trees, yeah, it's plural. Predefined type, user-defined, trees. Okay, cool. So that's how you use user-defined also for building element proxy. In this case, you can use both, like even if you don't use geographic element, but yeah, I think this makes sense better. And we click on reassign element, and now when we choose on this thing right here, it's a tree. And you see something interesting. I don't know how that happened, to be honest, but it looks like all the other trees have gotten the same classification. So that's one thing you can do in Bonsai, fixing these kind of things, classifying properly your objects so that everything becomes easier. Now, if you want to see those things here, because they will show as a separate class, then we have to refresh here at the top. Above, when you see, where you see here the spatial decomposition, there are these two arrows. Click on Load Container Manager, and it will show also the geographic element. And we see that we have the trees, the type, and all of them, the occurrences. So very cool, right? Now, let's say surface, terrain, surface. We already know, actually, to be honest, because we kind of saw geographic element there, right? So it makes sense to just go there and here and type in terrain. It's here, right? Geographic element terrain, and that's it. Reassign class. Bang, we have it. For road, let's say that let's assume that this is a road, okay? Let's see, if I search for a road, nothing will happen because we don't have roads yet. Roads are coming in IFC 4x3. But that's when we are using the proxy. We leave it as it is. And here we use user-defined. We don't want to use not defined because that everything is not defined, right? That's the worst thing. And here we can call this a road. That's the proper way to use roads in IFC 4 when we don't have them by the IFC schema itself. Yeah, so you learned this as well. Cool. Now let's have a look at the property sets, which is the most important one, the most popular, the most common one. And we see many things. I'm sure, like, let's actually see, let's forget about this because these are not so important. But let's look, for example, let's take a window. Or let's keep it to the doors since I cover doors. We see here, like, under p-sets, under property sets, we will get to see all the p-sets. I'm not sure how this order works, but yeah. I'm quite sure that these p-sets are just coming from a tool. They don't look like official p-sets, to be honest. So I'm going to assume that. I don't know, maybe ID, Daten, maybe this could work, but I'm not sure. Maybe they are generated by some plugins or something like that, I'm not sure. But we have many of them, like family name, p-set. Who cares about that? This is just trash, category, Turin. No, we should use types for that. Like this is not correct, right? No properties, right? Let's see, most of the time, let's see if this is, it's inherited. Like there are two kind of properties you can have. Inherited type properties, meaning that they are at type level, and we cannot remove them here. They are not at occurrence level, right? We have to go and choose the type and do that. So I'm not going to go there. It will take too much time, but we see the other ones here are, all of them are coming, like are normal. We see the X is activated. So that's one thing you could do. Like if you want to clean up your properties, that's where you can do it. Let's see, Graphiquen, I don't care about it. You just press X. And after that, you have to save your model. Go to File and Save IFC Project. You can save it as, save as, and save it as a separate file if you want. But yeah, the same. This is nothing. This is just comes from Revit, right? And I'm assuming, like, yeah, this is important. But what is reference? I have no idea. I have zero idea what that means. So if you want to modify that, we can go here and let's see, where do we have the reference? I don't see it anywhere. It's here. So let's see if we just remove that, if anything will change. Yeah, it disappears. Like, we don't need that. I'm not sure this PSET environment impact indicators, how is this information helping us at all? What is this? Yeah, like the proper, if you want to have custom PSETs, they have to be properly defined and maintained and so on. So I'm assuming this is just trash for now. Yeah, we cannot this because these are inherited, right? And let's say that, yeah, these are quantities that you want to compare maybe with the QTO door-based quantities, right? Which are this one. These are the official ones. But yeah, they shouldn't come like a custom PSET. Yeah. So that's one thing. Now let's say that you want to add information. You can also do that. You can choose here. You can, let's say you want to create your custom PSET, and I will call it, how to call it? EU, let's say, or global. G from global, let's say, and BIMvoice, right? These are the initials. That's what I would call. And maybe if you have, like, this is something for something specifically, I will have this GBV1 and then a property. How good I am, and the value, very good. Crazy stuff, right? But that's how it works, guys. That's how you add it. And you can even use property set templates, but we don't have time for that. That takes longer time. And I will not cover in here. Where is that? Like, let's do it one more time. My data, GBV. I have to press on this plus, yeah. So now, after I save it, we see here, GBV, how good I am, very good. There we go, guys. That's how we fix these things. We can also modify and fix materials here under these things. I will not go into that. This could be a 1 hour workshop, only this, because it's more complex. But these kind of things are the most common things that people have to fix, of course, and fixing and including fixing georeferencing. If you want to do that, then we have IFC patch. You go there and use set false origin. You follow, you choose the model and where you want to output. So, and then you have to put this information, which you can read if you just hover here. You will see all the details. If you found this helpful, here's your next step. Join the free 7-day openBIM Kickstart Challenge inside the BIMvoice Academy. Get hands-on with BonsaiBIM, validate IFC models, learn how to use IDS, run quantity takeoffs. No licenses, no cost. Just a solid foundation in 7 days. Most people wait until it's too late. Don't be one of them. Click the link in the description below, scan the QR code, or go to school.com BIMvoice Academy. See you inside.